Hi friends, it's host Zachary of Talking with Famous People. And in this video, I am going to talk about the up and down dynamics of being an outcast, which I think is an INTP thing. I think that, I think the reason there are up and down dynamics is because I think at certain times we enjoy sort of feeling ostracized while at the same time wanting to feel that connection with people. I think it results from, I think even when we're around other individuals, we still feel that sense of ostracization, that we're never really truly connected. I think there's a certain comfort. I think there's a certain comfort in existing in a state that's sort of in limbo and kind of detached from the people around you. I've noticed that when I'm around people, even when I have what would be considered good interactions with friends or family, that I have a strong desire to be alone. And I think after it's not always an enjoyable state. It's more preferable than being around people, but there's still a sense of anxiety about it that never really goes away. But there is a certain comfort in it, like I said, detached from the people around you. In periods where I spend a lot of time binging on reading or doing something that interests me, I find myself being able to see everything being able to see things from a detached perspective is almost therapeutic. I think the best thing INTPs can do is to find some sort of intellectual pursuit. I think it gives us the higher purpose that we desire, right? So part of the enjoyment of being an outcast is feeling like, I mean, it's sort of, I guess, self-aggrandizement. I mean, you feel kind of like you have a higher purpose, right? I think it's good for INTPs to pick up some sort of intellectual pursuit because it gives them that higher purpose that we feel that's missing all the time. Some of the times I feel most fulfilled are when I spend a lot of time reading, or I spend a period of time alone developing ideas or theories, and or finding current frameworks that you already have. But there are up and downs to it, you know. I mean, being humans, we're social creatures, and sometimes I think our FE our extroverted feeling function, our inferior function, I think it can be the function that's most conscious. It's I've realized there are two modes of being with me for dealing with other people. While I simultaneously seem to kind of neglect my relationships with people, and cause them to kind of crumble foundationally. Um, well, although I seem to be primarily unaware of what I'm doing, even when I try to make it aware, I still become obsessive over minute things, obsessive over small interactions that may have had more significance. I think FE is sometimes the most conscious function because it's so difficult for us to manage relationships and friendships and bonds with people. A lot of the time I feel that by the time a bond has been destroyed, it's too late, and I don't really understand what I did wrong or what I could have done better. I don't know what people want. I think that's sort of the thing about being an outcast and INTP, or why I recommend that the INTP pick up some sort of intellectual pursuit, is that at the least with intellectual pursuits, there's some sort of goal that will be that is seeking to be actualized, right? Uh, it's in working with frameworks and systems and logical theories, you're dealing with something that you understand. I mean, once you delve into a system, and once you delve into a school of thought, and you become familiar with the paradigm and to the extent the borders and the barriers of it. Once you familiarize yourself with the paradigm, you're able to work comfortably within that paradigm, and I think it's very enjoyable because there's no randomness that can happen. Or usually when the randomness does happen, that's very enjoyable because it's a new idea that you didn't expect, or it's a new train of thought that you hadn't considered. Whereas with people, or with the group, it's, I just don't know. I just don't know how to deal with it. It can't be categorized in anything. There are so many small details that if you overlook, then your bonds with people just crumble. It's really demoralizing. It's demoralizing even thinking about developing bonds with people in the abstract. I mean, all it really is just biological inclinations, right? But I think INTPs enjoy being outcasts to an extent. I think we have a tendency for that, wanting that higher purpose. I feel like since we don't get along with people that well, that there's something, sometimes I wonder if I don't get along with people because I have interests in more intellectual pursuits, or if my interest in intellectual pursuits is a result of my inability to connect with others properly. And I don't know. Perhaps it's not a dichotomy, right? Perhaps it's a little bit of both. think I'm done with this video now.